All right. Wanted to just spend a couple of minutes here asking a few questions. So, maybe you were like a lot of churches and you were in the middle of COVID and you needed to respond and you moved to online. And you didn't really have a why other than a reaction. Your why was your reaction. I mean, be honest, isn't that why you moved online in the first place? And so, if that was the reason you moved online, maybe you're right now saying, should I move back offline? If I move offline, we'll get everyone back in person. But that's not necessarily the best plan. And one of the reasons is those people that are doing digital online are a lot more inclined to be reading the Bible than people that are in person only. So, what was the mission and vision for you going to do online ministry? Maybe you didn't have one. Maybe it's time you figure out your why. And if you did have one, has that changed? Was your why, like I said, simply to say, hey, we've got to move online. And if all we're going to do is we got to go where people are, then as soon as they're not there and they're back in person, we don't need to be there. So, well, how have you done when you've been online? Have you done well? Where did you do well? Where did you go? Why did you go there? Why did you make all those decisions? And maybe you haven't really thought about those. It was simply a reaction and you did what you thought you could. You did as much as you needed to. But my friends, if you want to stay engaged with the next generation who are going to be digital natives, and you want to reach people who are far away from God, digital is going to be essential to being able to do that. So, does being online meet with the overall mission and vision of your church? And what have you learned along the way? So those are a couple of things I want to ask you. I want to dive into deeper. I want to help you be able to understand those things. And let me just give you a quick little tidbit to what I might be able to help you do. So if you're online, did you go on there because it was a head reason to do it? I mean, is that how you do your mission engagement? Is I know we're commanded to do go reach all people, therefore we'll go do that. But if you're online, people know if your heart's not in it and you're not doing it because you care about them, they won't care about what you have to say about Jesus or your church. Were you just reactional to what you were doing, or were you intentional? Why should you go to the places you're on there? Why would you want to reach people that are there? Are you intentional about it? Or are you just reacting like, hey, the latest trend and phase is fad is to go over to TikTok. Let's go over there. If all you're ever doing is reacting to whatever is the latest, the greatest, and all of those things, or what you have to do, you're just reacting to circumstances, you're not going to have long-term effectiveness. And the other thing, one last thought, key shifts in the way that you think about your why is from attractional to relational. It's not going to be like in the 80s when you could build a mega church and people would come. People are not interested in coming to your thing. They're interested in having a relationship with you. So whatever you're doing online, you need to figure out how to be able to make that a relational effort, because that is what will keep people engaged and invested and build the kingdom.